All right, this is Horribly Hooched. We're sitting down with writer and director Thomas L. Phillips to talk about his film Sanctuary, quite a conundrum. Thanks for joining us, Thomas.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it. Enjoyed the review.
It was a lot of fun writing it.
It was this is one of the easy ones we can do because we enjoyed it so much.
I could tell by the way the review was written. I love the running commentary of when you guys are watching it, the inserts of. Pretty fucking funny.
It was a lot to work with.
Yeah, if we had the opportunity, we'd do the Mystery Science Theater thing, but we're not that technologically savvy.
That would be good. That'd be a good one for this movie.
So, if you could describe for any of our viewers who haven't been fortunate enough to actually see the movie, describe it in a few sentences and tell us why a good, wholesome drunkard would want to check it out.
You know, I think I made a no holds bar. I always considered it a dark comedy, but it kind of got put into the horror realm, and that's who identified with it most. But, you know, for me, it's about a movie about realistic real people put in the worst situation they could be put in and how they would react to that. So I think everybody's capable of something, and depending on the situation you're put in, you'll see what people are capable of.
Okay.
So just, you know, we see horror movies with parties and drinking and alcohol, and, you know, they're all very stereotypical, especially the ones that Hollywood shit out every year. So I just wanted to do something completely no holds barred and make the movie that I wanted to make.
All right. And that definitely shows through. I mean, I can't tell you how many times we've been in a situation like that in college, and all it takes is one thing going south for us to be in those shoes, or, you know, swim trunks, as it were.
Well, whichever, yeah.
Or butt naked with your nuts hanging out, just like
butt naked, one sock on. Where'd my shoes go?
So that whole butt naked aspect. How many prosthetic cocks did you guys go through while filming?
Yeah. Well, you know, the cock that you saw in the movie is actually, you know, his real cock, which unfortunately will be cut out. There's versions of the film where that's going to be cut out depending on the territories that it's released in. Yes, it's kind of, you know, he got butt naked for nothing in some of them. We only went through one prosthetic cock that Anthony, who plays Harris, wears through the movie with his pedagogy, with his constant on, which was a universal one-size-fits-all beginner strap-on that you can get at most adult bookstores. It's even hollow, so you can stick your cock in there, so women and men can use it. And
take note. That's good information.
For those that are out there, they're looking for that extra.
It was not very comfortable for him because it rubs up against you, and so, you know, he was a trooper for wearing that the whole time.
Oh,
that is method acting to its best right there. That is really deeply balls deep into your character. That's awesome.
He did not give a shit, and I've worked with Anthony. That's the third time that I've directed him in 3 different movies, and he's a trooper, and he will do anything, you know, on set.
He was really one of our favorites. I mean, his monologue there at the drum set with that bottle of Jack, man. Dude.
Yeah,
that is rolling the aisles.
It was a whole throwback to, you know, John Hughes, and, you know, that's where a lot of the, you know, where we get the comments about being like Clerks, or, you know, my writing, I've been, you know, the writing's been carried to, like, you know, Kevin Smith meets Quentin Tarantino, which is, it's some really weird comparisons that we keep getting because people have trouble classifying the movie, so they keep trying to compare it to other films.
Yeah, I mean, I drew the immediate corollary to Tarantino myself as well. Just hold on one second. Are you seeing your video feed on your end? I seem to have lost you over here.
I'm seeing mine on my end, and I'm seeing yours.
Oh, all right, then we're probably good to go, hopefully. I'm not just staring at my ugly mug. So, yeah, the writing. Did you write this by yourself?
Yes, I wrote this by myself. This was actually the first feature that I wrote completely. I co-wrote the movie I did before this, but when I sat down to write this, I wanted to do something on my own. I've never considered myself a writer. I've always considered myself a director first that directed other people's work, but I really had a story to tell, so I sat down and wrote this one myself.
Well,
that's really impressive because not only is the story itself like just what's awesome about it, but the dialogue and the back and forth that you wrote in there for them to play with is absolutely fantastic. And you came up with some great one-liners that were just like that made it so much easier for us to just find our style of like writing to go into the review. So it's you did a damn good job.
Yeah, you should work with yourself more often.
Yeah, I did that a lot when I was 14 years old. So
A lot of practice.
So
We have mystery.
possible. Yeah, but no, it was nice writing something and having the freedom, and that's when I sat down to make the movie. The last two films, I had a lot of producers and a lot of people that had a say in what was going on, and co-writers, and I got tired of dealing with the money people and everybody having an opinion. So nobody was going to tell me how to make this film or what to write, and so there was a freedom to tell the story and write how I wanted to write. And the dialogue's there, and I'm really proud of the dialogue, but a lot of that, if that dialogue is written in a specific way, that if the actors can't get it, then it just doesn't work. And the actors we had, they really understood the dialogue and the banter and the timing. So without them, like, that dialogue would have just been shit. But they really brought what I wanted, because it is a different style of writing. From the commas and the way everything is said. And Aaron and Sasha, mainly the two female leads, they really had this banter like they've known each other for 20 years. And so they only helped what I wrote to make it even better and bring it to life.
Absolutely, yeah. That scene between, I guess I'm just going off of character names here, Tabitha and Mimi.
Yes.
At the pool, that just sort of rapid fire, back and forth.
Yeah.
Machine gun delivery, but at the same time, it was obvious they knew exactly what they were saying. I mean, even at the beginning of the movie, throughout, really, it was just... you could really tell that if it weren't for top delivery on both sides, it wouldn't have coalesced the way that it did. So that was really fantastic.
How long was the production on this, and what area did you guys shoot in?
We shot in Jacksonville, Florida. We only shot for 12 days. We shot 6 on, 1 off, 6 on.
Wow, jeez.
Really cranked through it. We shot 10 to 12 hour days, but we actually shot the movie sequentially. And films aren't shot sequentially. I could probably name 2, 3 in the history of film that's actually been shot sequentially, because it's just not, it's not financially responsible to do that. But this movie took place over one night, over like an 8-hour period. So we had the freedom to do that, which also allowed the actors, to follow their characters as they go along. So they're actually experiencing it from beginning to end, as opposed to having to go back and go, well, this happens here, this happens next time. So it really helped the actors find their characters, because it was like we were telling the story live, almost like very theatrical, like if live on stage.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely had the feeling of like you were like along for a ride, something that was experienced, like happening in real time for you. So you mentioned that this was you saw this more as a dark comedy than a horror. What movies would you say were your prime inspiration for this piece?
Well, when I started writing it, I always looked at it as like, because I'm a huge fan of American Psycho, with kind of the dark humor, because most of that stuff in that movie is not funny, but it's funny and you shouldn't be laughing at it.
Exactly.
And that's kind of how I looked at the comedy in this movie. You'd laugh, although you might feel bad about laughing at it like 2 minutes later. But I wanted to combine that with, like, the humor that, something like American Pie or Porky's had. So you have the dick and fart jokes, but you still have, and that's why certain shows like something like Seinfeld lasted so long, is that you had Kramer, who was full of dick and fart and stupid jokes, but then you had the intelligent humor. So and when writing that, I kind of wanted to give both sides to different audiences, those that that like dick and fart jokes and girls with nice tits, and those that actually get the intelligent humor. And so that's the kind of combination that I was going for.
Wow. Wow. That's it's not something you encounter often in the world of horror.
Yeah, and you certainly provided us with the nice tits there. I appreciate that. And that was awesome for okay.
I've had more people ask me for Aaron's email or phone number than they asked for mine.
Well, I mean,
can we get in contact with her? And the great thing is that you actually never see her boobs.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But there's a lot to be said for implied sexuality as well. I mean,
yes.
Obviously we're huge fans of tits and gore, but it adds to the allure a little bit, I think.
Well, it was kind of my F you to Hollywood, is that I did the implied sexuality, and it was still very sexual. But you know, throughout the movie, you almost see her boobs several times, and I cleverly block them with camera angles or inanimate objects. But then all of a sudden, you're forced to watch, you know, a 60-year-old cock in your face, and you never see that movie. It's always tits and, you know, ass, but you never see male nudity. So it was kind of just like my reverse, and you know, because nobody sees that coming. Nobody sees. They don't expect to see full frontal male nudity. They expect to see the female nudity in this movie, and they never do. So in fact, Germany, when they went to buy the rights to the movie, asked if we had any more female nudity to cut back in the movie. You gotta love those fucking Germans.
Can you get?
They want more tits.
We love it. We love it. You got any nipples in the background somewhere? Like in one of the cuts? Could we use
there's a couple takes where I didn't quite get the camera right where it's supposed to go, where, you know, she's removing a top, but those got cut out because there was never any nudity supposed to be in the movie.
Yeah, there were a couple of moments where we both screamed at the top of our lungs.
No! Come on! Wait a minute, penis! You accomplished the goal on that one. You accomplished the goal on that one very well.
You know, in the set the whole time when, you know, they're holding John in the water and he's butt naked, because if you're floating in the water, you just kind of float away. So he had like 5 or 6 male crew members in there holding his naked ass so he wouldn't float away while we're setting the camera up. And so they were not happy about that. They're like, "Dude, I really have to be down here by the ankles?" I'm like, "Yes, you do."
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Yeah. I'm on hip duty. That's awesome. On that note, anything crazy happen on set? Like any kind of drunken debauchery? Was the kitchen scene real by any chance?
No, I have in the past had actors drink and do other stuff, but on this one, because we're on such a tight schedule, and there was no actual alcohol being used. I don't know if anything was going on, you know, behind cameras with other illicit substances. I'm sure that would possibly happen. Nothing really crazy happened. Somebody almost hit their head on the side of the pool during one of the stunt scenes, so that was kind of scary. I actually have a behind-the-scenes video of how close his head came to hitting the side of the pool when they went to tackle him, and that scared the shit out of me.
Oh,
that would have been really bad.
No, that's no joke. I had a friend go to the hospital for that in some drunken pool party, and it's not pretty.
No.
All right. So.
It was, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we're nearing our time here, and want to be able to give you a chance to talk. Is there anything you're working on right now? Anything coming up?
I've got a script that I'm co-writing with a couple friends. Jessica Cameron, she just did Truth or Dare.
Yeah.
We're co-writing a script together. I mean, that movie, I was one of the editors on the movie and the color corrector. We're good friends, and her movie's really messed up, and so is mine. So we're combining our efforts to see how actually fucked up we can make a movie. I'm starting on another script, but mostly I'm just. I have a studio project coming up later this year. Quite a Conundrum got me a studio directing gig. I can't go into details too much until they release it in the trades, but so that's good. But I'm just waiting for August the 5th. I'm ready for this movie to release. We went so long on it that it's time for the world to see it, because so many people out there want to see it. They just haven't got a chance to see the damn movie yet. So we're really excited about that.
So let's talk about that real quick. It's the name is now Sanctuary. Quite a Conundrum, correct?
Yep. It was originally just Quite a Conundrum. The distributors wanted an S. They wanted something that, if you go to Redbox and you look under the Q section, I don't even think there is a Q section. So they wanted to change the title. The name of the song that plays during the montage at the end, the very powerful scene, is called Sanctuary. So that's what they came up with that idea, but they didn't want to lose Quite a Conundrum because it does have a following, so they decided to come up with that. So when it's released on August the 5th, it's Sanctuary, Quite a Conundrum.
Okay. Fantastic. So keep your eyes out for that. We'll definitely do an update on the blog once it's been released. Thanks so much, Thomas, for taking some time to chat with us.
Truly appreciate your time.
Not a problem. Thanks for watching the movie. Thanks for the great review, and we're going to start pimping it out now that we've officially released the new title of the movie. And thanks for the interview. I look forward to seeing it up on the site, and I will promote the hell out of it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, take it easy, guys. Thank you.
Adios.